No, we don't even sell. Last year we sell well because of everything are okay. Because of this emergency, we don't say go to here again. So if na last year by this time, because tomorrow is a Salah, go to the move here well. But this year, as you can see, nothing. I sell like let me say 10 last year, but this year I never sell one. Like tomorrow na Easter, we come back to normal. People they buy last year, they buy well, they buy good. But now, maybe the price is not inflated, but we don't have customer. Salah, I never say one good. Make it weekend and the same settle so that everything will do okay. At least make with the sell. They see what we go use feed our family.
Similarly, the chief imam of the Uniport Mosque, Professor Abdurazak Kilani, has asked the political actors in the state to end the ongoing conflict in the spirit of the Eid celebration for the overall development of Rivers State.
As one of the biggest states in Nigeria, we should not, because of our ambition, bring the state down. We should also sacrifice our ego so that what we want Rivers State to be is the community of nature, the state should be able to achieve it. And what has been achieved will not be thrown away just because of people who are quarreling because they could not eschew their bitterness, their envy, their pride. Rivers State is bigger. Rivers State should be uppermost in our mind. Just like Muslims sacrifice for the purpose of achieving the goal of satisfying God, to attain the pleasure of Almighty. Our goal here is to make Rivers State to remain as one of the living examples of good state in Nigeria.
Kilani, who is also a professor of Islamic Studies at the University of Port Harcourt, said the emergency rule in the state negatively impacted the number of government-sponsored pilgrims from Rivers State participating in the 2025 Hajj. He said there was a decline compared to last year when there was a democratically elected government.
The right of Hajj, Muslims going on pilgrimage every year. The arrangement normally here when we have a democratic system fully in operation. It's not the same when we have a state of emergency. As those of us who are within the country now celebrating, we are not having any negative impact. But we pray that we should learn a lesson from this, so that next year when we have the opportunity to celebrate under a full democratic system, we'll be able to appreciate what we have.
Now, a survey at the Rumokoro market shows that the price of rice has significantly reduced. A 50 kg bag of rice previously between 59,000 naira and 85,000 naira is now sold between 44,000 naira and 75,000 naira, depending on the brand. A pint of rice once sold for 6,000 to 8,000 naira is now priced between 5,500 and 7,800 naira. A cup of rice is priced between 300 and 400 naira. Beans prices have also dropped. A bag which costs between 100,000 and 145,000 naira is now priced at 98,000 naira to 130,000 naira, depending on the bag. Tomatoes remain relatively stable with a paint crate sold for 27,000 naira. A bucket is priced between 3,500 and 4,000 naira. Onions in a bag previously sold for 35,000 naira to 85,000 naira is still within the same range. A custard bucket which costs 3,000 naira to 6,000 naira sells the same. Pepper prices have increased, with a custard bucket now costing 10,000 naira to 16,000 naira. Staying with this, President Bola Tinubu has acknowledged that Nigeria is not yet where it aspires to be, but appealed to Nigerians to keep hope alive. The president made the appeal in the Eid al-Kabir message to Nigerians, which he signed on Thursday. President Tinubu assured Nigerians that the toughest days are behind them. He said, though the journey has not been easy, his economic reforms have already started yielding positive results. And the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Batoku, has ordered the immediate deployment of patrol teams and intensified security operations nationwide ahead of the Eid al-Adha celebrations. In a statement on Thursday by the force spokesman, Muyiwa Adejobi, the IG also directed all zonal assistant inspectors general of police, commissioners of police, and tactical commanders to increase security at Eid prayer grounds, recreational centers, and other public places to avoid any breach of peace during the festive period. Moving on now, residents and traders in Rumuwoji, Malwan Diobu, Port Harcourt City local government area of Rivers State have expressed concern over rising insecurity in the area. Malwan Diobu has long been associated with cultism and criminal activities, but residents say the situation has worsened. In an interview with crime correspondent Emekotoka, chairman of the Rumuwoji Community Development Committee, Stanley Nwubo, said at least 4 people were killed by suspected gang members and armed robbers between May and June. He said residents now live in fear. Wilbur said despite the presence of several police divisions in the area, criminal gangs continue to operate freely. He called for urgent intervention from the State Commissioner of Police, the administrator of Port Harcourt City Local Government Area, and other relevant authorities.
For the past 2 weeks, it has not been easy for us as indigenes or for us as community and also the business owners. It will be recalled that in some time by 5 p.m., those that were supposed to be doing business till 6 p.m. will lock up their shops because of fear of what we call street bullets and cult-related issues. 19th of last month, our record showed that 4 persons has lost their lives. So we want to send a message to the government, to the mayor of Port Harcourt, to the law enforcement agencies for them to redouble their efforts to join us in fighting this menace.
Mr. Wilbur also called for the demolition of the Njemanze and Elechi Beach waterfront, which he says are safe haven for criminals.
We're also asking the government to deem it necessary to demolish their dam, which is the Elechi Beach waterfront. Njemanze axis. If they commit crime, they run down to that waterfront. These are challenges we are facing. We also send a message to them. They are not from this community. Most of them are not from Rivers State. They will keep creating problems for us, making our people restless. We don't sleep with our 2 eyes closed any longer. We as community will give the government every needed support to see that these criminals are brought to book.
Some traders also spoke.
Like some weeks ago, a woman come in our environment here in Rumoji community to buy something. All of a sudden, 3 guys walk to her, pull off her gold earring and her gold necklace. She was just looking for help, and nobody can help because the people in question, they are with arms. And if you as a trader or somebody within there, you walk to them or you try to put yourself, and you that went into the scene or the problem, we now still face the consequences. So we are looking for help. The sole administration, commissioner of police, the Maiwan station, the Joe C4I.
Everyone are scared because of what is happening. Like even later now, when you reach 6 o'clock, everyone will like to pack and go home. So we are scared now. We need help.
The spokesperson of the River State Police Command, SP Grace Iringekoko, is yet to speak on this. Still to come, waterfront communities in River State demand urgent waste solution. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Some residents of waterfront communities in Port Harcourt say they've had to turn the river into a dump site because there are no waste bins or designated dump site in their communities. Correspondent Martha Okene visited the Marine Bay's waterfront jetty as the world marked Environment Day on Thursday and reports that plastics and piles of waste line the riverbank, with some floating in the open river and in front of houses by the waterfront. Some residents have to wade through the pile of waste to get into their homes. They called on the state government to set up proper waste disposal facilities in the area.
There's some they know they throw dirty for front, but we don't they go inside, they go through. But some people still they throw for front. Because this place, they don't keep anything like say make them keep dirty one side, make the people where they can't handle them, can't carry. If they keep something like that, we will go to throw them that place.
If we are throwing dirt, we are throwing direct inside the river. So when the water is overfilled, it will bring the dirt back to us. So that's what we are suffering.
If we do dirty, now that same place, we go through one. If we throw one inside water, if we go to float for river. We don't get where to put dustbin where person go conquer. Here, everything on water side. No place to throw except inside water.
Now make government come help us. Bring those people the way they come receive the dirty. Make them come this environment too, so that at least we go to use like that. They throw for them instead of the river. Make the thing no come they affect us again.
The waterfront resident also spoke about the detrimental effect of living close to trash piles that are building up along the riverbank.
When the water they carry and come, I don't try to tell community people make them stop so that they don't go to throw dirty. As in the pond here, when the water come, they carry and come. So it don't affect my health, it affect my grandchildren. Anytime when the water come, me are they sick, my children they sick, my grandchildren self they sick.
The kids here, it's very bad because of the odor. The environment is not safe. It causes harm to them. The smell, I can't even sit outside of my house because of the smell of the place.
The smell of dirty they affect us already, and we can't breathe well because of the dirty.
What we not expect to come they see for the environment, because most people when they won't go piss or they won't go toilets, if they worry them, it affect the health.
Once dirty dey there, come back. If you keep water here now, when breeze blow, all the dirty go come back, enter the water. You know if you use them. If you know you use them, it go worry you.
Now, on their part, two Bolt drivers shared how they spent between 200,000 and 300,000 naira to replace both engines damaged by plastic waste in the river.
That floating this jetty there, waterproof verities there. They cause accident. Come and go airport now to clear the jetty now. So that there will be no cause accident again in the river.
This waterproof you are seeing, and then anytime you are driving engine, you will see them floating in the water. Very, very plenty. Immediately you grab them with that waterproof, your engine is condemned. The government should help us. They used to bring people to clear this thing, but we don't have any of them to come and clear this thing. So this thing is disturbing us. Sometimes you spend like 200,000 or 300,000 to get engine back.
The theme for this year's World Environment Day is Beat Plastic Pollution. Meanwhile, a waste management expert, Dr. Williams Iyama, is urging the River State government to establish an agency or task force dedicated to curbing the indiscriminate disposal of waste from vehicles onto streets and major roads. Iyama, who is a senior lecturer of geosciences and environmental management at the River State University, blamed the persistence of the problem on weak enforcement and a lack of decisive leadership in the state.
One of the problems we have in River State is leadership. People feel that nobody is talking. I know how many times I've had to use my car to cross match some people, because you see somebody who just throw a plastic bottle off the window. You are not even interested in the car coming, talk less of even the blockage of drainages and all that. But if there's, it's just that we misuse task forces. If not, I am one of the strong advocates of having an agency that will monitor the rate at which people, discard waste on the streets, especially on the major roads.
Dr. Iyama asked the River State government to join its counterpart in Lagos State to ban the use of single-use plastic.
I feel that since states have started banning plastics, especially these single-use plastics like Lagos, styrofoams, especially most occasions you see these plastic cutleries are there, forks, spoons, plates and all that. These are the things we are trying to see how we can get them off. Now, I think in the country today, outside Lagos State, Rivers State is next to them in terms of development and in terms of advancement. So I think that Rivers State should think of it very, very seriously.
In the meantime, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Owell Okeruku, says the state government will start its advocacy against indiscriminate dumping of plastics and waste from the waterfront.
We've started with the sensitization, and then very soon we are going to have a stakeholders forum again for the need for us to end plastic pollution in the state. So plastic pollution is affecting our lives, and if government does not take appropriate action, it's going to be very injurious to our health. I understand that our waterfront, our waterways are already infested with these plastics. So those are where we are going to drive our advocacy more.
Staying with this, the Waste Management Association of Nigeria River State chapter says it is championing an initiative that encourages residents to collect plastic waste for recycling in exchange for subsidized healthcare services. The acting publicity secretary of the association, Mrs. Glory Georgewell, told our correspondent that the initiative aims to discourage the indiscriminate disposal of plastic waste while promoting wealth creation through recycling.
We had to think outside the box. When we saw people, here's this plastics cannot give us money. For example, if you pick up to 200 bottles, you could get a health insurance. What was a health insurance? If you cannot go to the government hospital quickly to pay maybe 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 for your medical bills and all of that, we could quickly call you in, you using these plastics and all of that, to get this little medical aid. If you bring maybe 400 naira, we could give you 1,006 or even foot the remaining bills. So we have gone that far for it.
In other news, a monarch from River State is set to be laid to rest this weekend, 8 years after his passing. The community of Ebolom Obeden in the Abua Odra local government area of River State will this weekend honor the life and legacy of late Ojike Iginigium IV of the Uwema Obeden clan, who died on June 7, 2017, at the age of 80. A statement by Kenoye Obinoma Robert for the Uwema Ebothom family said the final burial rite will begin today, June 6, 2025. The statement said the body will depart the military hospital mortuary in Port Harcourt at 12 noon and will arrive at the Ebolum Town Hall at 3 p.m. where he will be received with a 21 cannon salute by the Council of Chiefs. Later at 5 p.m. his remains will be formally welcomed by elders of the Ewulwulu and Oguma royal families with 7 cannon shots before lying in state at his residence from 6 p.m. A traditional wake-keep will be held from 8 p.m. till dawn. On Saturday, state funeral at the Ebolum football field and a commendation service by the Lord's New Church will follow at 11 a.m. An interment will take place shortly after noon. We're going on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Reached breaking point and the bromance is over between the world's most powerful leader and richest man. For more than a week, Musk has been trashing Trump's signature piece of legislation, a spending bill, actively lobbying against it on Thursday while meeting the German leader In the Oval Office, Trump spoke candidly about his disappointment with Musk. In response, Musk launched a series of extraordinary attacks on X, suggesting without evidence that Trump appears in unreleased files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now that's a wrap of the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. President Tinubu has promised economic rebound as Muslims celebrate Eid. Diobu residents are decrying rising insecurity. Waterfront communities in River State are demanding urgent waste disposal solutions. On the foreign scene, Trump-Musk relationship has imploded with insult and threat. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.
Have you heard about the Hope